On an afternoon when the spring rain fell quietly, we walked side by side without a word, looking down at our slightly wet sneakers. We smiled as if nothing happened. By the window of a small cafe at the end of the alley, a warm coffee cup touched my fingertips. Then you suddenly asked me, I don't know why, but I love rainy days. Through the raindrops spreading outside the window, we quietly looked at each other. Time seemed to slow down just for us, and that moment felt so precious. You and I blending into the spring rain, even the damp streets feel warm. Our day quietly soaks into the air and lingers in the sound of the rain. At the end of a busy day I met you, your shoulders slightly wet despite the umbrella. You smiled and said it was fine, and for some reason I found you even more lovable. A single cherry blossom petal fell on my palm. You playfully whispered, this feels like our little story, and I laughed along with you. Whenever it rains, I'll remember. I'm just glad you were here with me. Even an ordinary day like that felt as calm as the spring rain. You and I blending into the spring rain, even the damp streets feel warm. Our day quietly soaks into the air and lingers in the sound of the rain. One day when we walk this street again, will we remember the air and the raindrops, like the gaze we shared beneath the umbrella? Will that memory still feel warm? Even if the spring rain falls, as long as you're here, every day will be something special. This quiet love soaked into this moment will remain with the rain.
The sound of raindrops tapping on the window, the quiet air of a slow afternoon. Sitting across from you, sipping warm tea in silence. The warmth lingering on your fingertips seeps through the glass cup. For no reason I smile to myself, then glance away feeling shy. Rainy days make me feel calm. Thoughts settle like ripples in water. Even when you don't say a word, I just love being here with you. The streets shimmer under the lamplight, a little world of our own beneath the umbrella. Even in the cold rain, your warmth surrounds me. The warmth of you lingers in the sound of the rain, even in the lightest touch of our fingertips. Even if this moment fades a softly played song. When you quietly took my hand, everything felt just like a dream. The sound of wet leaves beneath our feet echoed lightly as we stepped along. I wish this walk with you would never come to an end. The streets shimmer under the lamplight, a little world of our own beneath the umbrella. Even in the cold rain, your warmth surrounds me. The warmth of you lingers in the sound of the rain, even in the lightest touch of our fingertips. Even if this moment fades away, our memories will never be washed away. Even as time passes and seasons change, the street and the sound of rain will remain. If one day we meet again, will we remember this moment? Even when the rain fades away, you'll remain quietly soaking into my heart, like the gaze we shared under the umbrella. Your warmth is still here with me. In the quietly falling spring rain, you and I walked without a word. The air softly filling the space beneath our umbrella, so quiet I could hear you breathing. Under the streetlight, your face reflected, even your slightly damp hair looks so clear. When raindrops brushed against my fingertips, I suddenly wanted to hold your hand. When the spring rain falls, everything slows down. Time, the streets, and even our hearts weep. We didn't need to say a word. That moment alone was warm enough. On the street where the spring rain stays, our footsteps remain in silence. Even as the raindrops scatter, we never let go of each other. Sitting by the window, letting our tea grow cold, we silently watched the rain outside. Soft music playing in this quiet space. It felt peaceful, just being with you. You pointed at the raindrops streaking down the glass and asked, when do you think the rain will stop? Instead of answering, I simply held your hand, wishing this moment would last longer. When the spring rain falls, everything feels clear. Your smile, your voice, even without many words between us, just being
street where the spring rain stays, our footsteps remain in silence. Even as the raindrops scatter, we never let go of each other. One day when I walk this street again, will I recall the scent and sound of that day? As if it still lingers here, will the spring rain remember us? On the street where the spring rain once stayed, the warmth you left behind still remains. Whenever the rain falls again, I'll think of you in this place.
Raindrops slide down the window. The scent spreads over the gray streets. A soft song plays on the radio, and somehow it brings me back to you. The warm coffee you used to love, steam rising gently from the cup, like the warmth that once touched my fingertips. Your memory seeps into my mind. Rainy days always remind me of you smiling by the window. The street remains the same, but you have drifted far away. A rainy afternoon, and I think of you. That day we walked with no umbrella, damp hair, trembling fingertips. Every part of it was beautiful. A small umbrella you left behind sits in the corner gathering dust. I opened it once just to see, but your warmth was no longer there. Here in the rain like that day, makes me think I might hear your voice. I really love weather like this. Those words still echo in my mind. Rainy days always remind me of you smiling by the window. This street remains the same, but you have drifted far away. A rainy afternoon, and I think of you. That day we walked with no umbrella, damp hair, trembling fingertips. Every part of it was beautiful. Even as time passes and seasons change, if the spring rain falls, I'll remember you. And if we meet again someday, will you smile at me like you did that day? A rainy afternoon, but you're not here. Yet the memory of that day stays clear. The way your eyes shone beneath the umbrella still lingers, soaking into my heart.
Just like the first rainy day we met, we walked with no umbrella, not caring about our so close, just smiling at each other. When you gently held my hand, I simply nodded without a word. The rain washed away our voices, but our hearts understood. This moment felt like it would last forever. On that night, time moved so slow. Even in the cold air around us, your warmth was all I could feel. Walking in the rain with you that night, footprints left on the wet pavement. No matter how much time passes, that memory will always be clear. Like raindrops sliding down the window, our time may keep flowing away, but the traces we left on this street will never truly disappear. Watching you walk away in the rain, I closed my umbrella and took a step. I didn't mind getting soaked because the memory of you remained. This moment felt like it would last forever. On that night, time moved so slow. Even in the cold air around us, your warmth was all I could feel. Walking in the rain with you that night, footprints left on the wet pavement. No matter how much time passes, that memory will always be clear. I wonder if you remember it too. The sand of the street, the damp air, your smile glowing beneath the umbrella. Does it still remain the same? Will it all disappear when the rain stops? Our traces, our moments, but somewhere deep in my heart, I'm still walking in the rain with you. Like raindrops clinging to the window, the traces of you remain so clear as I slowly wipe the glass with my fingertips. Our memories begin to blur, walking under the same umbrella, humming the same song on that rainy night. The warm words you once whispered still echo softly in my ears. When the rain falls, I think of you. The moment we walked through the wet streets, time felt like it had stopped. That air, that warmth still lingers. Our memories blurred by the rain, will they slowly fade away? But deep in my heart they are carved. These moments with you won't disappear.
On rainy days, like a habit, I stop by the cafe you used to love, watching the rain while sipping coffee at the seat where you once sat. The small umbrella you left behind, I now open it alone, but the warmth that once stayed inside still lingers on my fingertips. When the rain falls, I think of you. The moment we walked like before? Will we smile and say hello as if nothing happened? Or will we stay in the rain once more? Even as the raindrops slowly fade, your memory never washes away. Whenever the rain begins to fall, I'll find myself thinking of you again. Beyond the window, the sky is gray. Raindrops dance over the quiet streets. Closing my umbrella, I look up, and suddenly I remember you. The warmth that brushed against your fingertips, two shadows reflected on the wet pavement. We walk side by side without a word, but that moment was more than enough. When the rain falls, I think of you. The warmth of that afternoon lingers. Memories seep into the damp air, still staying right where they were, where the spring rain once stayed. Our traces remain so clear, even as time pulls us apart. This street will always remember you. The small umbrella you left behind feels unfamiliar in my hands. Without you, the sound of the rain somehow feels lonelier now. On rainy days I once waited for you. Back then I was so unsure, but even now, every once in a while, I still walk through these rainy streets. When the rain falls, I think of you. The warmth of that afternoon lingers. Memories seep into the damp air, still staying right where they were, where the spring rain once stayed. Our traces remain so clear, even as time pulls us apart. This street will always remember you. I wonder if you see this rain too, and recall the same memories. Somewhere far away like me, do you pause for a moment too? Even when the rain disappears, the days we shared won't fade away. Someday, here in this place, I hope to meet you again like the spring rain. The sound of raindrops against my window, a quiet melody plays on the radio. Shadows stretch beneath the dim light, within them, I think of you. The seat you once sat in remains the same, but the air without you feels strange. My fingers trace the rim of an empty cup. Out of habit, I reach for you. When the rain falls, where are you now? Are you standing beneath the same sky? On this silent night, on these damn streets, does your warmth still linger here? The night the rain stayed, I remember you. Your whispered voice beneath the umbrella. The memories of that rainy night still soak into my heart. My reflection in the cafe window makes me feel like you're still near. Will you walk in just like before? Call my name as if nothing has changed. Holding the small umbrella you left behind, I only realize now that without you this night feels even deeper and lonelier. Ooh. When the rain falls, where are you now? Are you standing beneath the same sky? On this silent night, on these damn streets, does your warmth still linger here? The night the rain stayed, I remember you. Your whispered voice beneath the umbrella. The memories of that rainy night still soak into my heart. Even as time passes, when the rain falls, the memories of you never fade. Somewhere just like me, are you remembering this night too? Even when the rain stops, you won't disappear. The moments we shared will remain. And when the rain falls again, I'll find myself thinking of you. At the end of that rainy day, you and I walked the same path. Our eyes met beneath the umbrella, with unspoken words lingering inside. Words rising to the tip of my lips, yet I couldn't say a single one. Only the sound of rain grew louder as we quietly walked on. When the rain falls, I remember the warmth you left behind that day. Memories soaked into the wet streets still remain deep in my heart. The words left behind in the rain scatter silently unnoticed, but no matter how much time passes, these feelings will never fade. Shadows swaying under the streetlight, I wonder if you hesitated like I did, closing my umbrella, looking at the sky, preparing my last goodbye. After you left, I stood in place, listening to the endless rain, hoping somehow you'd turn around, too frozen to take a step forward. When the rain falls, I remember the warmth you left behind that day. Memories soaked into the wet streets
our memories will still stay the same. And whenever the rain begins to fall, I'll find myself thinking of you again. Behind in the rain, scatter silently unnoticed. But no matter how much time passes, these feelings will never fade. The words left behind in the rain, scatter silently unnoticed. But no matter how much time passes, these feelings will never fade. If I ever see you again, will I be able to tell you then? The words I left behind in the rain still remain unspoken. Even when the rain stops and the sky clears, our memories will still stay the same. And whenever the rain begins to fall, I'll find myself thinking of you again.
Through the softly falling spring rain, we walked in silence side by side. You tilted the small umbrella, trying to cover my shoulder too. Every time you called my name, your voice trembled just a little. What were you trying to say? Back then I didn't understand. I thought the rain would make it easier, told myself it would be okay. But the look in your eyes, soaked in the rain, somehow seemed a little sad. A last goodbye in the spring rain, your fading smile blurred before me, as you turned and waved one last time. I couldn't tell if it was rain or tears. Standing at the end of the rainy alley, I watched you disappear into the distance. The further you walked away, the heavier my heart became. The street we always walked together still remains just the same, but in the air without you, only a quiet emptiness lingers. I thought the rain would make it easier, told myself it would be okay. But the look in your eyes, soaked in the rain, somehow seemed a little sad. A last goodbye in the spring rain, your fading smile blurred before me, as you turned and waved one last time. I couldn't tell if it was rain or tears. Maybe you turned back one more time, so I waited until the rain stopped. But under the fading gray sky, you were nowhere to be found. On this street where the spring rain stopped, our traces slowly fade away. But whenever the rain begins to fall, I'll find myself thinking of you again. falls over the street, people hurry past with umbrellas. I stand still just watching, remembering you in this place, just like that day on the road we once walked together. Your fading smile blurs in my mind. The moment you waved and walked away still remains so clear. When the rain falls, I stay the same. Time and my heart remain frozen. Are you somewhere watching this rain? Do you think of me even once? Time stopped in the rain for us. The air of that day, the warmth we shared. No matter how far apart we are, when the rain falls, I think of you. Sliding down the window, will our memories slowly fade too? But deep inside my heart, these moments will never disappear. The small conversations we once shared, the laughter of people passing by, everything still lingers here, coming back to life in the rain. When the rain falls, I stay the same. Time and my heart remain frozen. Are you somewhere watching this rain? Do you think of me even once? Time stopped in the rain for us. The air of that day, the warmth we shared. No matter how far apart we are, when the rain falls, if one day we walk the street again, will you call my name just like before? Will you smile as if nothing happened? Or will we simply pass by? Time stopped and rained for us, a memory that never fades. Whenever the rain begins to fall, I'll find myself thinking of you again. The sound of raindrops tapping on the window. We sat side by side, hands entwined. How many drops will fall? You laughed. That day still feels so clear. Raindrops stream down the glass. You traced a tiny heart with your finger. As it slowly blurred and faded, we just smiled without a word. When the rain falls, I remember the raindrops we counted together. The quiet whispers we shared still remain deep in my heart. The day we counted the rain, it felt like time had stopped. Even if that moment drifts away, the memories will keep flowing on. Your face reflected in the cafe window. I watched you through the misty glass. What were you thinking about that day? I wonder now, but it's too late to ask. Brushing the raindrops off your shoes, you smiled and said, I love rainy days. Looking back, those words somehow felt like a quiet farewell. When the rain falls, I remember the raindrops we counted together, the quiet whispers we shared still remain deep in my heart. The day we counted the rain, it felt like time had stopped. Even if that moment drifts away, the memories will keep flowing on. Do you ever think about it too? On rainy days under the same sky, leaning against a window, counting the drops. Have you ever remembered me? When the rain stops and the sky clears, will our traces disappear too? But somewhere deep in my heart, I'm still counting the rain with you.
Moving slowly through the falling rain, we walked in silence, side by side. The warmth of your shoulder brushing mine made my heart race for no reason. The scent mixed in the cold air, the lingering warmth of your sweater. Even as the rain soaked through, that day still remained so clear. When you tilted the umbrella, the space between us grew smaller. In that moment of quiet rain, did our hearts feel the same? Walking slowly through the rain, a small world beneath the umbrella, with you beside me. Even this street felt creeping into the quiet gray afternoon, tracing the glass with my fingertips. I recall the traces you left behind, standing under the streetlight in the alley. We listened to the rain without a word. Since when, I wonder, did we stop looking in the same direction? On rainy days I think of you, your voice blending into the wet streets. The warmth of that day, the scent in the air still lingers deep inside my heart. Leaning on the sound of rain, I remember you. The quiet words whispered under the umbrella. Even as time keeps moving forward, our last scene won't disappear. An empty coffee cup left by the window, my own reflection feels unfamiliar. The seat where you once sat across from me now feels so empty and cold. The alley we used to walk together, I now pass through it alone. I thought I'd be fine without you, but maybe I'm not yet. On rainy days I think of you, your voice blending into the wet streets. The warmth of that day, the scent in the air still lingers deep inside my heart. Leaning on the sound of rain, I remember you. The quiet words whispered under the umbrella. Even as time keeps moving forward, our last scene won't disappear. Maybe just like me, you pause for a moment, listening to the rain under the same sky as that day. Will we ever cross paths again? When the rain stops, will you disappear too? Or will you remain somewhere in my memory? Tonight once again I lean on the sound of rain and quietly think of you. Like raindrops sliding down the window, your memories quietly seep into my mind. A familiar melody plays tonight, and suddenly I miss you again. The road we once walked side by side, moments when our eyes would meet. The warmth of your fingertips still lingers, soaking into my heart. When the rain falls, I think of you. Our story left behind in the wet streaks. At some point, these raindrops started to remind me of you. The rain that reminds me of you falls again, one by one, soaking my shoulders. Even as time keeps moving forward, our quiet love never fades. Under the streetlights, through the rain that day, laughing as our hands brush together. Every small and simple moment still remains so vividly in my mind. When the rain falls, I think of you, our story left behind in the wet streets. At some point, these raindrops started to remind me of you. The rain that reminds me of you falls again, one by one, soaking my shoulders. Even as time keeps moving forward, our quiet love never fades. I wonder if, like me, you ever pause and watch the rain, or have you walked beyond